Guys. Good morning. My name is Ming Richardson. I am the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partner. And in the past, you have my husband and myself, Alan Richardson, who do the real estate backstory. So to keep our tradition, want to make sure you guys are getting the informed items that we always give you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So anyways, what we like to cover today is a couple of very interesting facts. What are the first time repeat buyer fear the most? As you can see, 40% was afraid it might be a better option out there than the home that they were looking at. So if you can tell the market the way it's running right now, even though you have qualified buyer, they're very hesitant, and simply because all the seller has listed their property at the height of their market. Because right now, I am aware of a few appraisal issues that the property are not being appraised, even though all the appraiser realize that we have a lot of minimum inventory, but at the same time, the inflation rate of the house pricing does not justify what is going on the market. So 40% is afraid that there might be a better deal out there. And they also know during this time of season, inventory is available and the buyer activity are minimal. So therefore that they're just kind of hang on until they see that house that speaks to them. They just kind of wait for a little bit. The other one was, I am afraid of not being able to afford my mortgage, because with a rising interest rate, guys, we went less than 3 weeks from a 2.85. Now we're at 3.14. So as Alan, I mentioned before prior, 1 point in interest rate equates about $50,000 worth of purchase power. So, these folks are actually at their first, especially for first time home buyer. They're just afraid that they're going to be house poor. Okay. The other reason I was nervous to take a hard look at my finances, that means credit score, debt to income. It is very easy for us as human. We tend to put our head in the sand when there's an issue with a credit or fixing your credit. I promise you, if you guys would just look at some of the classes that we offer for credit repair, matter of fact, I believe there's one coming up this week. Inform your client and let them know, so listen, we all make mistakes. We all been there before. If you haven't, kudos to you, because we have our battles. I just remember when Alan and I was really young, we would go out and eat dinner at Red Lobster and spend a good $75, just two of us. And then looking back, I'm like, was it necessary? No, it wasn't. So, but anyways, let them know we all make mistakes in the past and it happens. Excuse me. And so therefore, but show them the way to correct the issue they may have and move forward. Another one was, I was afraid that home prices will continue to rise. Even though we are seeing slight gradual rising rate of the property, but it's nothing compared to January, February, March, April through July. So the home pricing is risen of the home pricing is not there simply because everybody has priced their property right now at the top end of what their average comp around the neighborhood based on the condition of the property. Okay. I was afraid to take on so much debt, and that is legitimate, y'all. 28.1% is afraid of taking on that much debt. But anyways, just want to give you some, real data as a buyer's agent. This is a consultation you need to have with your buyer to talk about these issues. All right, the next time home buyer, okay, saying question, 41.6% says, I am afraid that the home price will continue to rise. Okay. And, we all know with the current economy and with as much items we're spending, with in the inflation just doesn't match the rising home price. But there's a definite fear because and buyers are watching. They've been watching since beginning of summer and see how the price has risen for the same property. Um, over anywhere, depending on where you're at, anywhere from 10,000 to 30, 50, $60,000, same house, but in a short months. So they are really concerned with that. What you need to do is educate your client about this. The other one was afraid inventory will continue to decline. I mean, right now, even though our inventory is not as huge, but the buyer activity actually has slowed down a little bit, because in real estate, traditionally, we tend to buy property during summer months because that's when we are moving our kids from one school location to another, and also during the break around November and December. So November is actually should be a decent month because it takes that long to basically close in December. So the new buyer can move in, so their kids can move into the new school district during mid-year term. The another one was I was afraid there might be a better option out there than the home I was looking at. So that is a low 24%, 24.8. So quarter client still feel like that there may be a better home. They just need to buy their time. Matter of fact, I've been working with one client since I want to say February this year, and it's gotten to a point we bid on homes during the high time of the season and have been outbidded every time. And unfortunately, it's a hard blow for the client. And they're at a standstill point where they want to wait until maybe February or March when the inventory is open again. So that is a legitimate concern. COVID-19 made it difficult to commit to buying a home. So, some folks are very compromised. So therefore, they got to be very careful how they select a home and how they go about buying a home. And plus that this is between buyer and seller. Some sellers do not want their home to be invaded over the constantly and will open the home for the weekend and that's it. So another one, I was afraid to take on so much debt. 22% of the next time home buyer is afraid taking on that much debts, too much debt. So there we go. Okay. All right. So winter is coming. For those of you who watch certain series of TV show, they're coming back. So the title for this one I thought was very appropriate. Winter's coming. It is now November 1st, y'all. So just wanted to know the pending home sale fell slightly in September, okay, possibly due to higher mortgage rate, fewer bidding wars, and more inventory in August had hinted at a cooling market. So when we had a higher inventory in August, so September, it was a little cooler simply because we had a little more inventory, but our home pending sales still fell slightly because all those folks that has been working all summer and get outbid and have used program as this ribbon, Dream America, Home Partners America, they're just um, you know, a little sad because they can't get the house that they felt like that was theirs. So the contract signing fell by 2.3% in September from August. Okay, because think about August is still the moving month for a lot of folks with that want to change school district. Contract signing were 8% lower than this time last year. So even though we were a little slightly lower, we're still above last year this time. In all regions, signing decreased on the prior month and from 1 year ago. Okay, so it's just some stat. Oops, sorry. Whoa. All right. This is kind of interesting from realtor.com. Pending home sale index. So as you can see, August we had a spike. In September is where we're cooling off a little bit. But what interests me is that in June, July, and May being one of our highest. So if you look at this trend, as we talked about before, February was slightly low. That's when the bidding war started. In March, it spiked up, and whereas April kind of cooled off, May was another one of our large bidding war months. In June and July, kind of trend down a little bit, and August spiked up. That's because people felt, after the summer month, they don't feel as constricted with the COVID, plus the booster shot. I'm sorry, the COVID shot was available to a lot of folks. Not only that, it was mandated in some, excuse me, industries. So therefore, I felt like, people weren't as scared about certain things, but also clients were looking and they're finding out that, I can sell mine, but I can't get something that's comparable for, what I'm selling for. So that's kind of the reason why some of the increase and decrease. But it was nice to have September, October spiked up, and of course September cooling down. Just remember, we're not with a limited inventory right now, and as Alan mentioned before, builders only build about 1.5 new home construction. Our demand nationwide is 6 million. So we're going to have a shortage for a while. All right, Bunning Construction, U.S. new home sale hit 6-month high as the median price stay above $400,000. Now, this is across the nation. This is the first time new construction average out $400,000. So that kind of tells you what the inflation is doing and what have you. So, and demand for housing surged early in the COVID-19 pandemic amid an exodus from city to suburb and other low density area location as Americans sought more spacious accommodation for home office and online schooling. The buying frenzy has abated as workers return to office and school reopen in person learning thanks to COVID-19 vaccines. The median new house price accelerated 18.7% in September to $408,800 from a year ago. Sale continued to be concentrated in 200 to 749,000 price range. Sale in under 200,000 price bracket, the sought after segment of the market account for only 2% of the transaction. What that means is that your first time home buyer, your average small square footage between 14, anywhere from 12 to 14, we're talking about heatable spaces, okay, not including the garage, is only account 2% of new construction. So a lot less new construction builder are building smaller home, which I think that's where a lot of demands are right now. And honestly, with the baby boomers, like Ellen and I are aging, that's just a reality of thing. And we're looking at, we have a Cape Cod, which is downstairs and upstairs. So we're looking at, downsizing to a ranch home, to where we don't have to climb the stair. As as you age, your bones creak, and it does hurt once in a while when you have too much activities and you don't want to walk the stairs. So there we go. All right, consumer confidence index. So if you look at this, since this is last 6 years, so January 2015, the consumer confidence index, if you notice, was at around about 100, probably 105. And now we're above in the last 3 months. Okay, just consumer, your buyers. We have a steady uptick. And where it went down is probably June, July, when you see the pending sale was slightly lower. That's because the inventory issue. So this is a good thing for us as the consumer confidence has gone up to 100, probably 115 right now, 114. So it's a lot better than what it used to be. Okay. All right, unemployment insurance claims. So if you look at Department of Labor, we're still under 300,000 unemployment. The initial claim week of 10/23 was 281,000. Is 10,000 less than the previous week. And so continue claim week of 10/16, you can see was 2,200,000. I think there may be a typo. But anyway, if you look at it, the unemployment claim has gone down. So that's a great thing because that means there's more people returning for work. And we all are aware with the crisis down in California where the docking shipyard, they're trying to unload as much product as possible because at one point, some things were put in halt because we were more concerned getting the equipment, the items for COVID-19 first dispersed before any other regular merchandise. So, but anyway, it's good to see that our employment is low and people are back in workforce. Now, you guys, just remember Alan's mentioned last week, interest rates still over 3%. So 30-year is right now 3.14. For your 15-year is 2.37. For those of you that can do it, that's fabulous because that's an incredible rate. And a 5-year ARM rate, I wouldn't recommend it. It's 2.56 because right now interest rates so low. I mean, historically, this is still a very low interest rate. I still remember the first time we bought a home, it was 11%. So once again, 1 point equates to about $50,000 worth of buying power. So you can see ours currently have 5%. So we're looking at almost $100,000 worth of buying power, what we could have bought today versus when we bought our home here in Atlanta at 5% interest. Okay. All right. It's tough to be home solo. That's a little spin from Alan for Han Solo. The number of one-person household in the U.S. has doubled in the last 4 decades. Okay, more your millennial are married at much later time, and also your Gen Zs. Your Gen Z actually and your millennial are actually buying about the same time because as the Gen Z wants to purchase at a much younger age, where millennial, the average purchase age is around 33 to 34. So you really have a lot of upcoming buyers of that age for anywhere 27 to 34 right now. That is coming to market, and they're typically your solo homeowners along with baby boomer. Okay. So solo household has risen from 18.2 million in 1980 to 36.1 million in 2020. Your baby boomer comprised 39% of solo household, while 19 are millennial, 19 are Gen X, and 3% are Gen Z. Okay. And this is according to Wall Street Journal report. So you can see where a large segment of folks are buying. So the baby boomer still counts for a lot of the purchasing power. But the booming house market is leaving fewer options for those who are getting into township home ownership alone. The supply of the entry level, this is what we're talking about, the $200,000 houses, up 1,400 square foot up to 1,400 square feet, according to Freddie Mac definition, is now 50-year low. So it's been 50-year low since we have acquired a starter home. So you can see where, in my personal opinions, some builder can really build this product and sell it quickly. So the builder says, they're just not building that many smaller homes, despite what you hear about tiny home, that sort of things. And that's according to the chief economist, Freddie Mac. The Wall Street Journal also say there's not much new supply coming online. So the existing supply, where you can see a lot of your smaller home are being rehabbed, especially downtown Atlanta, to update with modern look and everything, which is aging. So it's fairly competed over because, as we age, do we want a 3,000 square foot home to clean? No. When you don't have kids at home to help you with the chores, it gets a little much. So overall, the median sale price for home purchased by a single buyer was 265,000, according to Housing Center America Enterprise Institute. However, the national median existing home price was around 352,800 in September, according to the National Association of Realtors. So this is just based on location, okay? All right, so a lot of your state and your local property, the commissioner are really loving it today because they are increasing. Look at the trend of what they're collecting in taxes, property taxes. And that is due to the inflation rate that we have in the rising purchase price of all homes. So you can see back in 2011, just short 10 years ago, we went from an average of less than 475,000 to almost a 700 on that. And this is actually in billions, I'm sorry, of tax collection. So you can see that the local state are loving it due to the rising price of property value. All right. So 30% US market to experience double-digit rent increase in 2022. Y'all, please advise your client, they're going to experience a higher rental rate because with the market the way it is, I would never thought iBuyers would buy a $300,000 home because in the past it's always been less than 150, 200 would be your max. But now, because of the fact there's such a low inventory in rental property, our buyers are buying those like hotcakes. And not only that, guess what? They control the rental market. And so based on a new research by National Association Realtor, U.S. Apartment demands will likely remain robust and rent growth remain elevated in 2022, given the current rate of absorption, rising mortgage rate in 2022, and a lower level construction activity relative to current demand. So Gate Corporation research economists for National Association Realtor report that demand for multifamily apartments remains strong as the fourth quarter and as of October 2019, which a net increase of 1.06 million apartment units occupied since 2020 quarter two. The multifamily vacancy rate has fallen to 4.6. It was 6.6 in 2020 in quarter two. And the multifamily median asking rent is up to 11.4% year over year. And that's 1.6 in 2020 in quarter two. So as you can see, it is rising, okay? 12-month net absorption multifamily unit and year-to-year percentage asking rent growth of 2021. So what you can see is this line here, where this is the amount of available rental properties, okay? And you can see, and these are the demands, okay? And as you can see, because back in 2011, we're still heavily buying REO properties. So therefore, it was cheaper buy than rent. And you can see as we creep up 2019, and then where we shot up is 2020 starts shooting up here. And you can see now the line for demand for rental has exceeded the available product. Because for a couple of reasons, some of your investors that have been hold on to these inventory back in 2011 when they bought it 2012 at the downturn market is now selling and cash out like a lot of homeowners are. So therefore, the availability of the product, as you can see, declined when we start with COVID. So a lot of investors start selling off their inventory, and then guess what? The demand for rental has come up simply because everybody wants their own space. Okay. So your 12-month absorption apartment unit as a percentage inventory in 2021, quarter four, this is October 19 versus quarter four in 2021 projected. As you can see, Atlanta is the fourth in the market that has highly demand. So Texas right now it is experiencing a large booming population and growth, followed by still New York, California, DC, and also Atlanta. Okay. And the reason for DC, I do know we have a son that live up there. Um, during pandemic, a lot of folks were moving outside because commute was very popular with a lot of the major industry and businesses. So a lot of folks move out of DC, and but when everything came back in, as you can see, the rental rate has gone up. Matter of fact, one of my clients getting ready to move to DC, she told me for a, I think she was saying around about 750 square foot apartment that is very convenient to the Capitol and everything else is rented for $4,200 a month. So you guys, that's a lot of money for rentals. So there we go. All right, millions of baby boomers return early. So look at this graph. If you look at this, okay, a lot of time, the reason why overall population baby boomer is right up here. But the one that are, and this is divided by the oldest segment, okay, whereas there's from the oldest age of baby boomer to the youngest age, okay. So that's when the lines start, kind of divide in 2008. Um, so if you look at the baby boomer, you can see the overall population due to COVID and everything else, they're, some will offer a early retirement and they're taking it. Not only that, is that they feel like as they're aging, there's not as much job available for them. So a lot of them are just taking a retirement plan and also just retiring much earlier, what they projected. Okay. So, so with that said, some of them needs to downsize and move to a smaller home to make it affordable for them. All right. So how does this impact economy, housing? Early retirement is contribute to the labor shortage of in the U.S. So it does affect labor shortage. Many worker face layoff and other left to protect themselves from the risk of infection. It's much harder for workers in their 50s and 60s to re-enter the workforce after a period of unemployment. So when the government was subsidizing the unemployment, a lot of folks, it was easier to do that than it was to work. And plus, when you're older, your immunity is not as great as, some younger generations. So therefore, a lot of them basically um, took this is where, okay. Uh, so anyway, I got a background noise. Hopefully y'all can't hear. That's just weird. Anyways, so this does impact the industry, and many older workers have built up financial cushion, made this choice. So they build enough to work. They know they can live off X amount of dollar. They're downsizing, go ahead, cash out. But some of the issue they have right now is also the same thing, which is so anyways, so buying a house in 3 years. So checklist you should be sharing on your social media to attract buyer. Get your debt under control. Set a budget for the folks that you are trying to attract, buying in 3 years. So this is talking about lead generation, how you should market these folks and the timeline that you're looking at. Buying a house in 1 year, tell your client, go look at open houses. And granted, there's very few in between right now that are doing open houses, but you know, go online, go look at some of the products out there. Take a first time home buyer classes. Please partner it up with your lender, because I can tell you right now, your lender will be more than happy to host a first time home buyer classes for you, or with you actually. And this is where you can educate your client on, what needs to be done. All right. Buying house in 3 months. These are more aggressive. Sorry. I apologize. I'm not sure why this is popping up. So hopefully y'all don't see that. Um, so anyways, here we go. So you sign up basically for foreclosure listing and nail down your need versus wants. And I know right now foreclosure is very, very, very low. So what you need to make sure that, you can definitely sign up, but you're gonna have fierce competition on there and that front as well. And most of your REO company are not doing any download down listing. Okay, I'm not sure where that noise is coming from. I do apologize. Make sure you nail down needs versus want, because there's time that we have a lot of wants, but we need to satisfy our need. What is negotiable, one is not negotiable. All right, so that's how you attract some of your clients. That is looking at anywhere between 3 months, 1 year to 3 years. That's how you put your your customer retention, your CRM, sorry. And anyway, and how you should structure it. Lumber price on steep incline again, just so you guys know, we're getting a little bit of lumber increase again. Even though it has been falling this summer, but the appearances have been short-lived. In August, lumber price have bottomed out, but framing numbers now up 40% since August. So as you can see, the builder has no choice but raise their price. And this is why some of the reason why we're having an issue finding inventory less than 200,000 for new construction, because the price of new construction is going up. So lumber price still remained below the peak reach in May, which is $1,515 per 1,000 feet. On Tuesday, lumber future were traded about $735.70. It's still a little less than half than what it was in May, but it is doubling up again, and doubling up in the pre-demic price, which was $356 per 1,000 square feet. So just be prepared for builder raise the price of the new construction home because of that issue. All right. Only 17% of retirees in Atlanta have mortgages. So look at that, y'all. So a lot of you folks are owning their home free. And so anyways, you need to go ahead and understand that these folks are looking at retirements, and they're looking at budgeting. So many financial experts recommend older home payer pay off their mortgage balance before they retire, since mortgage tend to be the largest debt owned by many Americans. But that isn't practical for many Americans. Nearly 10 million homeowners age 65 and older still have mortgage, according to new study from Lending Tree. That translates nearly 19% of homeowners 65 and up across 50 metro area who still have mortgage, research says. So you can see what Atlanta is. We're ranked number 36. We're 17%. A median value homeowner by a home owned by occupying by those to 65 older or 236,000. Median value of owner occupied housing units, 247, where a median monthly household cost with a home with a mortgage owned and occupied by those 65 and older is $1,350. And median monthly house cost for all owner occupied housing unit with a mortgage is $1,586. So with that said, hopefully did a decent job for Alan, because we know this is all the backstory is his baby. So on today, we have from 10 o'clock, mobile apps, virtual tool for digital marketing for agents. That is virtual only. And tomorrow I am teaching license law. For those of you who need to renew your license, please make sure you have a license law class. And this is in Newton. So Wednesday we have DISC, building relationship in real estate. That is in Collier in virtual. And Thursday, we have Connect to MLS. So you guys, so if you have done MLS in traditional way, uh, please learn how to do the new the transaction desk, okay? And also, remember we talked about earlier about how to leverage business credit, get access working capital. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, partially this can be applied to a personal because, you know, if your business is still based on your personal credit. So please take on this class as it is a virtual class. So we look forward to see you guys and hope, and our goal is to educate our real estate community and make our community a much better one. So if y'all need some time, me time, please log on to max1.rocks/chat. I will be there in just a few minutes. And thank y'all so coming for our real estate backstory. And hope y'all did have a fabulous Halloween and some just a relaxing, joyful time with your children and neighbors. Y'all have a great day. Happy Monday. And like I said, thank you very much. Take care.